This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today we look at a film that arguably belongs to a subgenre of horror. It's all about a ventriloquist dummy that sort of takes on a life of its own. Let's check it out. Today's film is Devil Doll from 1964 in beautiful black and white. It's about an evil hypnotist slash ventriloquist who plans an evil way to gain an heiress's millions. So we could probably place this in a subgenre of horror films involving ventriloquist dummies and moving dolls. Examples of films I'm thinking of Dead of Night or Magic, some Twilight Zone episodes, I'll get to those in a second, the film Dolls, and even more recently the film Megan. I had a cheap ventriloquist doll growing up, and as a kid at night I had to cover that thing up. It wasn't good enough to just turn his head around sitting in the corner or put him in the closet. That would raise all kinds of other nightmares. As it was, I still had dreams once in a while that it was walking around at night or that it was looking at me through the window, something like that. And I think it's probably because I was freaked out by some Twilight Zone episodes, one with Telly Savalas and this doll called Talking Tina, and another one Cliff Robertson starred in as a ventriloquist where his doll started taking over his life. But when I was watching this very early on, I thought, if I would have been a kid watching this film in 1964 or around that time, I would have been terrified by this thing. Mainly because, no spoilers here, but of how the doll moves would have freaked me out completely. Actually, going into this film, I had pretty low expectations. I thought it was going to be this low budget, poorly directed, poorly acted film, B-movie, but a fun one. I kind of like those. And yeah, it only cost $75,000 to make, but it was far better than what I expected. I think it's better than that film Magic, for example. I think it's visually, it's very stylish. I thought it was well acted. I thought it was well directed. It was well shot. It was fast paced. It was surprising, unpredictable, and creepy. Interestingly, one critic called this an exploitation movie, and I didn't really feel that way while I was watching it. But I could see where he's coming from. And first of all, at the beginning, there's one of those British Film Board certificates on the screen, and it said, for viewers over the age of 16. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. This is just supposed to be a horror film, right? But there are 3 scenes involving female nudity in this film, and those are restored and included on this disc. So my hunch is, and after this film was released, they cut those scenes out of there, but they're included here. And yeah, they're pretty unnecessary, pretty gratuitous, and rather voyeuristic, especially this one scene where the ventriloquist slash hypnotist brings this young lady up on the stage in front of all these people in the audience and hypnotizes her into doing a striptease. And she does, and so that's pretty exploitative, I think. And they're showing the guys in the crowd, and they're getting these lecherous looks on their faces. The cast includes William Sylvester as a journalist. Now, that name didn't mean anything to me, but I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, this guy looks and sounds very familiar. He played Dr. Haywood Floyd in 2001: A Space Odyssey, who goes to investigate what that giant anomaly or obelisk is. And he was also in Gorgo, which I did an episode on, if you want to check that out. And Bryant Halliday, I was unfamiliar with that name or that actor. He plays this guy, the Great Varelli, the hypnotist. And he's a very good villain, and he has a very interesting face, especially for horror films. He's kind of gaunt and pockmarked face, maybe from acne or something. But my rating for Devil Doll, 4.5 eyeballs out of 5. For horror fans especially, if you like that sort of subgenre of horror, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. So before I tell you what's on this disc, there is a second film involved here. And that second film is, we flip it over, there it is, Curse of the Voodoo from 1965, also in beautiful black and white, also known as Curse of Simba. This is about a big game hunter who who kills a taboo lion in Africa. And when he returns to London, he's haunted and kind of stalked by some African warriors who are seeking revenge for what he did. This is included here, I'm assuming, because it has the same director and that same lead actor, Brian Halliday. He's also good in this film, but for a lead character who's supposed to be a protagonist, he's a pretty unlikable guy, really. And like Devil Doll, it's a well-made film, but it's more simplistic and really just not as interesting. It's just okay. Now, I've read that some people find this film offensive. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be related to how they treat voodoo in this film, because, well, when Mrs. the Kazdoy Closet and I were on our honeymoon, we went to New Orleans and we learned a little bit about voodoo. And one thing they really emphasize is that it's to be taken seriously, not as a joke, almost like a religion. It has some religious elements to it, of course. And it's actually most common in Haiti and in the Caribbean, not in Africa, where this film takes place, even though it was shot in England. So my rating for Curse of the Voodoo, I'm going to give this one a 2.5 lions out of 5. So what's on this disc? This is a Vinegar Syndrome disc. It's region A, B, and C. It has this very nice embossed slipcover. I don't know if you can tell. You can see it kind of shiny there. The title's embossed and raised up. It has 2 films on one disc, and the inside is just the same artwork, actually. It has a 16-page booklet. It has 3 audio commentaries, which I did not listen to. It has several extra features there. You can see if you want to freeze it. And there are 3 extra features that are about 20 minutes each. And it also has the censored versions of those nudity scenes I mentioned to you, the clothed censor versions. So they shot different versions of those scenes for, I guess, for a different audience. So where can you see these films? Well, you can buy or rent. This disc is still available, I believe. Devil Doll is on Tubi. I don't see the other one streaming anywhere. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Maybe some other horror films involving dummies or moving dolls that you'd like to recommend or that you really like. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free is we are on Letterboxd under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link in the notes down below that will take you there directly. And also down below, it'll tell you all about my ebook, True Tales from the Teacher Trenches. It is for your Kindle, or you can use the Kindle app, the free Kindle app on any device you want. Or if you have Kindle Unlimited subscription, it's included in that. Or you can go to Amazon.com and you can get it there. Anyways, hope you like this one. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.